No, we have here this year 30 participants, starting from, let's say, Far East, Philippines, Japan, China. We have from the other side, United States, Canada, Mexico, Colombia. We have many countries from Europe. It's a big variety of cultures, traditions, but surprisingly, all these young people are here like a one good team of friends who understands each other. Everyone who comes here to this beautiful castle is enchanted by its beauty, its very calm atmosphere, old big trees around, a lake, and the quietness. It gives us, everybody, not only to composers, everybody is kind of influenced by this atmosphere.
The preparation of song on piano is very useful if it's formally useful to something. I don't want to have prepared sounds only to give a supermarket of sounds. You know, we decide to use these little metal objects that give a kind of sound. In that part, I wanted to have the sound of it. Usually, the harmonics is much more light. Okay, thank you very much.
For piano to, let's say, contemporary music or in general, do you think it's still worth playing or writing for piano solo or prepared piano? I know comparing to all stuff, for example, KHD and also many others.
Piano is the most enormous particularity. If you make a comparison with the other instruments, for example, the violin, of course there is an enormous literature for violin, for cello, but the history of violin, for example, is a 4 or 5 century history. There is no other instrument that has a so enormous importance in the music, but in a so short time. Okay, wonderful idea to make a course with individual lessons, but to be here, to meet every one of them, coming really all over the world, and for them to meet 4 different points of view, for very different composers, but then to stay together, to show one score of mine, but also in the afternoon to see their scores. And okay, also in half an hour, and in half an hour you meet a person. The day after that someone asked me, can we meet again? So I think that this has been, as for me, in my life, I'm not so young, really one of the best situations of summer courses, I met during my life. I go back to Italy really enthusiastic of this experience, really. Best of life. To meet, to look at in our eyes, to understand something, to give something and to receive something, and in the future I hope to meet you again.
But this may be interesting because many of us have written for stage and also operas or dance. So it wraps up all we have talked this week of Chinese instrumental music, and all the characteristics are different. and you could use in the big productions as well. I think that this is very meaningful. I have met 30 students from all over the world. I think that is my honor and my very pleasure and privilege to share all of my experience in composition with these young composers. I share with them how I compose in my own language, which is natural yet is very deeply rooted in my own culture. So in this course, not only written for Western instruments, I also wrote for Chinese instruments. I gave them ideas and the instrumentation and technique of all these instruments. Later on, they may go for their own research on different cultures. I would give them a multicultural analysis and different touches and styles and techniques and different menus and all kinds of thinkings, thoughts, because I also share with them my Chinese background.
So I made a match.
Historical DVD from him. Remember, there is a wonderful Thais by Massenet. I knew him seeing a wonderful Thais. I don't like this opera, but the was wonderful, so symbolic.
End. Okay. See? That's what I said. It's not end. Like now. It's very funny guy.
Yeah. I have a lot of scores, maybe. Or no, it isn't. No,
I've been dedicating a big time since I started music. I started seriously at 13. So I mean, as a performer, and I think my modes of expression are not just limited to performance and improvisation, but also, I guess, to artistic creation. But yeah, I play, of course. Actually, for this, we meet every night. Every composer shares her music, and for the night when it was my turn, I decided to play my own solo piano piece. Well, I've been trying to find myself, but I try to speak for myself and for my background. That includes both where I have lived, where I've been raised, born. I'm in Colombia, then I lived in the United States, and also try to find a voice of this time.
Cool. The lady is the viola player? Or?
Yeah. She commissioned the piece. I have like the shade of an idea in my head, and then I try to develop it, and it usually is during composition. I usually, for example, this particular piece, I started with a very precise idea based on whatever is not really interesting, but I wrote it down and then started developing it, or trying to get something else about that idea. But usually I don't have a very precise perception on what's going to be the score in the end, so it's more like an keep going process, work in progress, I would say. Sometimes you have the need to write something and there's no rational explanation for it. You could not put that into a particular context or system or whatever. But yeah, I would say that mind or system or organization by the head is a good way of controlling the ideas that are mainly irrational somehow.
To, co się działo w latach 80. i początku 90., to znaczy kursy niby podobne, bo taka sama struktura, jednak dzisiejsze kursy są inne, bo mamy inne czasy. Ludzie są inni, czego innego chcą, inaczej podchodzą do swoich zamierzeń, do swoich planów, inaczej je realizują. Ja jestem bardzo zadowolony, że tegoroczne kursy są chyba najlepsze z całej historii kursów, które prowadziłem. najlepsze, bo mamy wspaniałych młodych ludzi, świetnie zintegrowanych, zainteresowanych, szczęśliwych. No po prostu jest wyjątkowo świetny czas w tych Radziejowicach.
Yeah, you have to try it. Play not so loud. Yeah, but actually accordion can play also quite strong.
Share. At the beginning, share the files to me. So load. Put your samples here. Please have a look. If I click here, the sound is more or less dry. Yeah? If I add it, enough for the live performances, and the best is that it is built in. But I will only make a small change. Yeah, it's the best here. I will show you. And the reverb is built in, so you don't need any extra VST. That's also good.
Give me that patcher to the airdrop.
Yeah, for sure. I will give you 2 patches. I'm not saving this one. Okay.
Yeah.
I will show it to you.
Warunki tutaj są idealne do tworzenia, do kontemplacji, do myślenia o muzyce. Przede wszystkim można poznać nowych kompozytorów, nowe style muzyczne, wymieniać poglądy na temat, dyskutować. I to też jest bardzo ważne dla młodego kompozytora, który właściwie zaczyna swoją ścieżkę artystyczną.
To jest ostatni wieczór kursów Synthetis, a to jest synteza naszych kursów, ten koncert, ponieważ to są utwory, które powstały w trakcie trwania kursów. 12 kompozytorów z całego świata, od Filipin po Brazylię, Stany Zjednoczone, Kanadę, Europę, Japonię. Wszystkie utwory tych kompozytorów będą dzisiaj wykonane jako zwieńczenie ich pracy prawie 2-tygodniowej.